Hi there, I'm Patricia with Willow Grace Mystic. I wanted to share a video that talks a little bit more about each of the houses as it pertains to astrology. Remember that the house position of a planet shows where your energy is focused, so basically where the action is. And so to determine your first house, you need your exact date, time, and location of birth. And then from there, you're going to know what each of the other houses is ruled by in your chart. So please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to receive notifications as soon as content is released. So the fourth house. The fourth house is often referred to as the house of family. It is angular and it's cardinal house, generally ruled by water. The planetary dignity is moon or Cancer. The fourth house in astrology, it pertains to our domestic life, the mother, father, home, childhood, and the private inner world of the individual. It also encompasses real estate, heritage, our past, and our ancestral roots. It could be our past lives also. The fourth house is an angular house and therefore considered very significant in the birth chart. This house constitutes the private home and the very personal side of our lives, and that only our closest of connections are going to be privy to. The fourth house is also known as the Imam Kolai or the IC, and it represents the lowest point or the nadir of the birth chart. Some astrologers associate with the fourth house with our past lives. Moreover, it is linked with the outcome of events. So, the main theme or the focus of the fourth house is the personal and private world of the individual. It relates to a fundamental desire to connect with our roots and our origins, our sense of patriotism and belonging to a specific group or clan, particularly of cultural, hereditary significance. The fourth house, it concerns a more authentic and intimate side of ourselves, in contrast to our public persona or image that we project through our 10th house. This is also known as the midheaven, middle of heaven, or the medium coli, and some people call it the MC. So people that have a prominent or very active fourth house, they're more likely to be very prominent, and private, and they're very attached to their family, their inner circle. They may likely have be reserved or introverted, or otherwise seem kind of possessive or territorial about what is theirs, and being entitled to them based on their heritage or their birthright. Those with a prominent fourth house, they can engender a conservative mindset and also a tendency to romanticize the past. The fourth house, it governs our memories, our childhood. Here, the experiences, both positive and negative, they can live and they can fester within these confines of this house. The house indicates whether the individual has positive and healthy relations with the mother and the father in general, or negative and toxic ones. People with an afflicted fourth house will, by and large, signify a contentious and fractured home life that can bring about unresolved anger that manifests with the aspects of the person's life. Furthermore, those with a strong emphasis on the fourth house, they're likely to be more homebodies, or they prefer to spend most of their time in the comfort of their home as opposed to being going out and living life outside of their home. The fourth house can be concerned with the inner soul and the private emotions of the individual, determined by what it is ruled by. It concerns the needs for security and for foundations upon which the individual needs to build upon and to grow. The fourth house is also associated with the past and our personal memories of our childhood and the experiences that we have early on, both good and bad. A lot of what goes on in the fourth house, it shapes us as a person. Those who are imprisoned by their past, they're likely to experience a lot of emotional turmoil, and this is reluctance to move on with their life. So coming to terms with the past and the pain associated is really necessary for cultivating a healthy and positive fourth house to move forward and grow from. In our birth chart, whatever planets and aspects that are formed in the fourth house will indicate the nature of your ties to your family members. For example, Mars in the fourth house can manifest a person who is notably passionate and protective of their family members, such as a person that may be active in their domestic roles or perform them with passion, flair, and energy. They have a protective instincts, and their motivations often stem from a desire to support their loved ones. Someone with Mercury in the fourth house may find themselves maintaining close ties with communication in their family throughout their lives through Zoom, text, phone calls, emails. Someone with Scorpio, they are very private about what goes on in their home life and possessive about wanting to keep this private. So the Mercurial, they can be more talkative at home when at work or other settings. They can take a special interest in learning about their family and history and genealogy and the history of places and locations and where they grow up. They can tend to be interested in history in general, as well as a joy in spending time at home reading books. So each sign has their own take on how they want to experience and what they value and keep safe their home. So those with Saturn in the fourth house, they bring about a tendency to be more isolated at home, less involved with family members. Saturn is restricting. So generally, this person is not so likely to be born with special privileges. It's possible that they were born into a strict household or one where the finances were tight or that they barely scraped by. On a personal level, someone with this placement is bound to feel inhibited or constrained by obligations to home and family through what they may feel by duty bound to do so. The fourth house also represents our physical home, but also the internal sanctum of our thoughts and our emotions, the memories, the impressions that we gather from the outside world that seep into our subconscious. This is where a lot of our insecurities and worries, as well as our resentments and pains, can collect and accumulate over time. So, additionally, the fourth house, it represents what we need in order to feel safe and secure and gather our spirit and to recharge our soul. So, I hope you got something from this and that you like and follow. Subscribe to below. I would love to hear your thoughts about your your fourth house, and if you resonate with this.